Hi, everyone. I hope that everyone can hear me.
Hello.
Yes, thank you. Hi, Annie. It's nice to see you again. Yes, let's wait for a few more minutes. Maybe someone else will join us. Just to warn before we start, I have very bad internet connection in the hotel. Hopefully everything will work good. But since today is the day when you will start to work and you will have to do some tasks and things, then hopefully everything will work good and you will have fun with the tasks. While we're waiting for other participants, I have to mention some important things and information what was given by the project manager of the Connect. I know that a lot of you are participating also in other courses and listening lectures and participating in Zoom lectures, but you should know that one really important thing: to receive a certificate, you have to do all the parts of the course, listen recorded videos which we have done. You have to participate in Zoom lectures, and you also have to do tests and tasks which are given by our teachers, so that at the end we can give you the certificate for the attendance. And those who are wondering why they are not receiving after other courses, this is the reason. We can check and we see that not all of you have seen videos. And the thing with videos and with all the course creation, you know that we have spent a lot of time, my colleagues, and not only my colleagues, also my colleague, partners of this project from other universities. We have done a very big and important job to inform you about such topics, what we are talking during these lectures. I'm representative of university in Latvia, Riseba. We are a place where business meets art. And since we have this motto of ours, we have several faculties, which is business faculty, also arts, architecture, and multivisual media. So we are trying to do not only business, but also we are trying to be creative and also we are inspiring not only students, but also our partners and teachers from other universities. Today, we will talk about the presentation. I hope that yesterday you had a nice lecture with my colleague, Julia. She's so bright and shine person, and it's always very nice to work with her together. But since I understand that one of your tasks later, when you will finish listening or courses and or lectures, you will have to create your own courses. And to do it, it's important that you have not only your knowledge and skills, what you, I believe, already have, but you also need this presentation skills, creating presentations. Sorry, 1 second. Sorry, as I told, not only international internet connection, but also I'm in a hotel. So, and to create great lectures and great presentations for your teachers, there is, in these days, I want to say, it's not enough that you only have your great knowledge and experience, what you already have. In these days, we have to change a little bit, and we have to do a little bit more to entertain our students and to make our lectures more interesting. I will share my presentation that I have prepared for you. And those who probably already checked the videos, what we have prepared, have seen this, this part of comfort zone. I'm sorry, no, my presentation is skipping or running away, so I will do one tip to trick, what I will also tell you later, how you can work with your presentation, that it works good and doesn't change anything what you have created or prepared before. So, and about the comfort zone, in these days, I know that we have to step out of our comfort zone in many different ways. I think that I should not mention, we already know very good the fact about working online with the students. But in these days, stepping out of comfort zone means that we are somehow going away or escaping from fear zone, where of course we always or very often have this low self-confidence. We find usually excuses. Why should I change my presentation slides? They are good enough. The students for many years are reading or learning from my slides. So everything should be fine. And of course, what people will think about me, maybe I will do something wrong and then it doesn't work. And the fear zone is very important part of our lives, to step out also this one, so that we can start to learn new things. Of course, we are facing new challenges, we are facing new problems, and we are looking for solutions and ways how to solve these problems. But at the same time, we are learning new skills. And in this part, we are extending this comfort zone, because in these days, it's more popular to say not step out of comfort zone, but extend the comfort zone. So that's why these rings, and then somehow it's making this comfort zone bigger. Hi, those who just has joined us. We are slowly but starting. And when we are growing or extending our comfort zone, we are actually finding new purposes, dreams, we are setting new goals, and we are going toward these we are going to this growth zone. And I hope that we all, step by step, during these courses will successfully get to this growth zone and to our achievements. And to achieve something and to grow, you don't have to go or start again studying university, or you don't have to do some, I don't know, learn something very specific and very complicated. Sometimes it's enough to have these small steps and small achievements, what you can do day by day. And the point with this, I want to tell you that how you can do and how we can together do it is just starting to change slide by slide, presentation by presentation. At the end, we have this very nice material, what we can share with our students, to them have the best experience for their part and their life in university. Those who already have listened the whole presentations, you know that in my part where I talk about presentation, I have discussed the basic principles of creating presentation, about pitch presentation, about the presentation skills in general, a little bit about visualization. But today, what we will soon talk about is about poster presentation. Why poster presentation? Because I know that you can work with PowerPoint and you have these basic skills. And if you will check the information and tools, what I have already offered to you to use as a useful and as a good, you will see that it's not that hard. But poster presentation is something new and something interesting, what we are using not only in daily basis to present something, for example, in meetings. Poster presentation is one-page presentation, something like conclusion or something. Yeah, it's like conclusion or handout. The poster presentation is also used very often in these days in scientific conferences. And if you apply for conferences, you can see that there are different ways how you can participate in conference. For example, with oral presentation where you're showing your slides and your research questions and etc. But what I have done several times is poster presentations. What I have prepared my research proposal on one page, and in some conferences I have to print it out on big page. In some conferences there are digital screens where you can upload your poster presentation, and then when the jury has a session, they just come and ask you some questions about your research. So I think this poster presentation, you will benefit from it in different ways. You will be able to prepare for meetings or important subjects what you are talking about. This is as an additional part for your lectures, for example, as a handout, and it will also be something what you can use for your conference papers and how to present your papers. And just to quote Warren Buffett in some interviews, and not only in one interview, but in many different interviews, he is mentioning and pointing out that presentation skills are one of the most important skills what we have to develop in these days. And by improving our communication skills, both in written and verbal, it's possible to increase your value by 50%. And just imagine a situation when you have, when there is you and your colleague, which are competing to get a promotion. Guess what? Who will get the promotion? The person who is shy and is not willing to talk or present and usually are trying to be somehow in the shadow, or person who is able to present, who is able to go and stand in front of audience. It doesn't matter, is it 5, 10 or 50 or 500 people, who will get the promotion? I think it's a very easy question. So and this is the reason, or not the reason, but this is what I see also in my students, and probably it's the same with you. You see that those students who are talking, who are participating in lectures, actively participating, asking questions, sharing their experience, they get faster to their careers and to success in their lives. And the same as with you. Of course, you are great on what you are doing right now. I'm not arguing about that. But there is always next level. And I hope that we will get this next level together. What comes to preparation or to successful presentation, it's always preparation. And there is no other words as preparation. If we check any book, and if you check the materials what are uploaded on the platform, you will see that I also offered you 2 additional materials, which are, one is a book about presentation, and another material is more about visual communication, which we also will talk a little bit. But if you check any book about public speaking or about the presentation, you will see that preparation for any presentation starts weeks. It's not 1 week or few days. It starts several weeks before. Just imagine the situation that you are invited to talk for the big audience in conference or in an event. You usually get the invitation a few weeks before the presentation, and in the first and in books there are written that it usually takes 4 weeks to prepare for a very good presentation, like keynote speaker. And at the first week, you are just putting bullet points and concept, how you will prepare this presentation, what you want to tell in your presentation. In second week, you put everything together, what information you have about these particular topics. In third week, you start to talk or like rehearse your talk, starting to take out parts which you think doesn't fit well in this presentation. And the last week, what you're doing, you're again rehearsing. But what I didn't mention here, that in some conferences, in some events, you of course also have to prepare presentation. And for some people, this preparation part where you have to put slides together makes it even longer or harder. And then to make this or to do this, you actually have to have some particular skills to work with, either with PowerPoint or with other digital tools, what I have also mentioned, and some of them I will show you today. So this preparation starts actually sometimes even more than 4 weeks before, because you should learn and do some other things. But to avoid the stress and to avoid some misunderstandings, it's good that you have these skills and you can do it faster, that you don't have to learn how to prepare presentation or nice looking presentation before the conference. And with the preparation for new study courses, I guess it's the same. For my first study course, I was given 2 or 3 months to prepare all the materials. And since you also will have to prepare new study courses, you already know that you will have to do it. So it's maybe easier for you. You can take something from our courses and information what we are giving to you, so you can start already. But I was given, like for me, was given 2 months to prepare my first study course, and I was so stressed. I was so stressed because it was my first course at all. I thought that I like to teach. I even didn't know, because I know some people start somehow like, I don't know, it's like natural that you start to teach and you do it. But I was asked, do you want to do it? Do you like it? I was like, yes, of course I like it. But I actually didn't have any idea how it is to talk in front of students, because I was 25 or 26. I was still student. I was still sitting in master, and now at that time I was already a PhD student. I was just starting my PhD studies. I was still student. I had no idea how to talk with students. But since I had this very small age gap with students, I found very fast the common language with them. In other cases or in other ways, I don't know how I would do it. I really don't know, but I was lucky. I was lucky with my first group. I was lucky with my first subject and tasks with what I was given. But what is important when you start to prepare presentations or prepare for study courses is that in every beginning, in every presentation, in every course, we have to do this introduction part. And introduction part, for example, in conferences or in any other public lectures, it's quite short, and you should be really specific about things what you want that your student know about you. Some teachers are doing like long introduction part with the CVs and everything what they have done in their life. Some teachers are more specific, and they talk only about those things that are important to this course. But it's important to make this good first impression. And if we are looking from the business communication aspects, I don't know if Yulia has mentioned, but you probably know, or probably if you will start to think, people have the first impression in first 30 seconds. And it takes sometimes ages to change the first impression. Let's think, do you have these situations? Have you ever had these like bad first impressions, and then it took a little bit while, some time to change the thoughts about the person? So this is the same with us going in front of audience, and you have to be not maybe impressive, but you have to be confident. It's not like I always felt good about presentation. I actually, I was, like I told before, when I had to prepare for my first study course, I was really afraid. But my fear of public speaking or being on the stage started, let's count, more than 15 years ago. It was my graduation. I was graduating from 9th grade. In Latvia, we have, so we study till 9th grade, and then we go to another school, 3 another years to study. So I was graduating from my ninth grade, 9th class. And I had this really nice graduation ceremony. And, you know, in every girl's life, graduation ceremony is something very, very important and special. And do you know why? Let's guess why I still have this one fear from being on the stage. Do you have any ideas? What could possibly happen in graduation? Why I'm still afraid of going in front of stage? What is the fear?
Maybe because there are another students, also the professors, and you are afraid not to say something, I don't know, that is not correct.
Actually, it was nothing about saying. But yes, of course, I was afraid to be in front of the people. But why? Why I was? But I was not saying anything. I had to go in front of audience, not audience, but in front of all guests and students to receive my diploma. Communication starts where we enter, not where we start speaking, but when we enter the audience, emotions were ballpark. Oh yes, Natalia, you wrote something like very strong quote about communication. I should save this quote. Okay, I will help you, or you have any ideas? Natalia, yes?
No, I was just
Oh, okay. The thing about the graduation and why I'm still afraid to go on the stage is, since I mentioned before, graduation in every girl's life, I guess in every student life, is something very important. For that reason, my mom allowed me to buy high heel shoes with a little bit of platform. So I had really red high heel shoes with the platform. Do you think I can walk? Could I walk with these shoes?
Of course not.
Of course not. And they were still a little bit slippery, you know, when you have the new shoes and you try to walk in the you know, the room where everything is happening. And yes, I couldn't properly walk with these shoes. And when I realized at the ceremony that I have to walk on the stage, get my diploma, and then I have to get back. At that time, my second name was Vasilyeva. So I was the last one, since the V is the last one in the alphabet. I was waiting for 3 hours, sitting really nervous about this part that I have to go on the stage, and then on my high heels I have to try get down safe, not falling and not having this situation. Everything was fine. I'm still here. I'm alive. I didn't fall. But for 3 hours, I was the most stressed student in the graduation ceremony. But since then, I realized that I'm not afraid to speak. I'm afraid to sing because I cannot sing. I can dance because I was dancer at that time. But I'm afraid to fall. I'm afraid to have this first impression with falling or I don't know, doing something wrong. So this is about this first impression. And I know that all of us has these fears. Some of you have probably the fear of I don't know, of speaking. Some of you doesn't feel confident at the first I don't know, some first sentences. So try to make this all as a good experience, something funny, or be confident about yourself. It doesn't matter if you have that big heels or maybe smaller heels. It's important that the first impression is good enough that people are listening further you. That is one thing. Another thing that they remember you as a speaker, as a personality, as an expert in our case, when we talk about ourselves as a teachers or as experts, so that they have this good feeling about you as a speaker. Then what is else important? That we are trying to focus mainly on three important things, what we want to tell during our presentation or lecture. Because speaking or public speaking is something like movies. And if you think about last movie, what you have seen, you know that every 30 minutes, there is some action. There are three action parts. Every time when you think that everything is okay, that there is another one thing. But movies are usually filmed in divided in three parts. That we have these three actions. We start with action, then we have action in 30 minutes, and then again one more. And why these three things? Because after third thing, people start to forget, and it's just a normal. Just imagine situation when you have to go to the store and your mom or husband or wife is saying, can you please buy milk, yogurt, apples, lemon, then also do not remember about the oil. And I think I already forget what I said at the milk. I said milk. Yeah, but people start to forget, and to have this focus on lectures and have to focus from the students, we should stress or try to focus only on three things. If we will try to name or talk about more topics or more important things, their focus will lose in one moment. And as we understand and as we know, the most important is that students have this focus and that they are participating. Then another thing which is coming in these days, it's visualization and how we are visualizing data, information, and everything what we want to say. And the main manifesto of the presentation, what I'm trying to give to you and also to my colleagues, and I know that it's not easy. I have doing these lectures for my teachers, not my teachers, but my colleagues in my university. And every time I have this feeling that they are trying to push me away. Please do not tell me it. We don't want to do it. But the thing is that I also work with students. And I talk about them, and as you understand, I talk with them about the presentation, and they are facing that teachers are coming with the not old information probably is new and updated, but that they are coming with old slides with a lot of text on it that they cannot read it. And if they cannot read it on the computer when you are teaching online, that they cannot read on the computer. Imagine in the classroom when probably there is also sunny, and then these small letters are very, very, very hard to read. Sirbu is writing that she's afraid to say something stupid or silly. I know, me too, but that's okay. But when we are preparing for like important speeches, because when we go to talk with students, sometimes it's more like we have, it depends on the topics what you are or covering when teaching. For me, it's sometimes more like to have this conversation with them, and then of course, yes, I can tell something silly to them. But when I have more important presentations, like lectures for teachers or lectures for in conferences, then the most important part is preparation. And actually, if we start to talk about these silly things or silly being silly and not wanting to look stupid in front of audience, this COVID time actually somehow has helped me, because when I was learning public speaking and storytelling and other things with the different teachers, they usually told me to prepare for a presentation and for public speaking, you have to do it and you have to train or practice in front of mirror. Have you tried to talk in front of mirror? It's so stupid. Oh, thank you. Thank you. There is one participant who has done it. For the long time, I wasn't excited about talking in front of a mirror. But when I started to do lectures in online, now I can see myself. And I know that for some people, they doesn't like when they can see themselves. But what I have had different discussions with my colleagues, and actually they started to think that they now feel more confident because they can see what they are doing with their hands, and then they start to think that no, I should do probably something different, and they start to change the way how they are also talking in front of audience. And practicing in front of mirror is the same as what we are doing now. Like I'm doing, checking or trying to be in control of myself. But this practicing in front of mirror also giving a lot of good things, like I said, you start to control, or you start to think how you look, how you stand. I had one situation also in university when I was just entering or starting my bachelor's studies, and public speaking was something very, very far what I've ever done. One of the courses, which was also business communication, we had this very strict and nice looking teacher. She was working at that time also in ministry, so she was really, really on point. And she had a very interesting task for us. She came with an old camera. It was 10 years ago. At that time, it was maybe not that old, or now it's old. She came with this old camera. She gave us random topics, and we had to talk in front of camera for 2 minutes. It was stressful because before it was my first time talking in front of camera, which was the first thing, what was the most challenging. The other thing, after the speech, after everyone was finished, we all together had to watch these videos. And then we had to analyze ourselves and also our course mates. When it was my part, when it was my video, I was so shocked. I couldn't believe what I can see there. So let's imagine me sitting in front of camera on the screen. At that time, I had like these long nails, fake nails. I was very, very, very nervous. And what do you think? What I was doing with my hands? Yeah, it would be good. It would be good, but I didn't that. I was doing like this with my small finger, and you imagine my nail was somewhere here. I was nervous, and all the speech I was doing like this. It was so awful. The teacher was watching to me and she was like, "Are you still okay? Do you have your finger and nails? Because it looked like you will like break it off. Since then, I realized, okay, Zana, you can be stressed, you can be nervous about something, but never again try to break your fingers in front of audience. Then, of course, she told me that to avoid stress, you can, of course, learn how to gesture and nonverbal communication parts, what to do with hands, or maybe, yeah, where to put them, and what is the best way. But one thing which always helps to people who are really stressed during the presentation is pen or pencil, to have something in your hands. You can hold it, you can do something like, of course, if it's not very impulsive and very, very stressful, then then it doesn't work. But when you have this pencil in your hand, it always somehow makes this presentation more professional, like you are an expert and you are doing your best. But for me, it's the one thing which helps to avoid stress. And now I doesn't feel so stressful during my presentations, but I still always have something in my hands. It like reflects for me that I need to have it. So, and going back to slides, to what is important, another thing, what is important is not to forget to have or to give this call to action. Why there is the present? Because in public speaking, in presentations, you not always have to give a call to action, as we understand it. Like Annie has to do it, Zana has to do that, and Sylvia is doing something else. It's not always just about giving tasks or being clear about what we have to do for the next lecture, for the next lecture, which is important in study courses. In every lecture, at the end of the lecture, you will receive the question from the students: what should we do, or should we prepare something for next lecture? So for lectures, yes, you are giving this call to action and you are being clear about the tasks and everything, what should be done. But in public speaking, in conferences, or maybe in some inspirational talks, you should give a present. This can be something physical, like you have a handout, or maybe you have some samples, or something you can give the listeners, the audience, that they remember about you, or yeah, they have this information, what you are explaining. But sometimes in these days, especially, these are the presents, what you can give. And what I'm doing every time with my students, I'm giving them some new tools to learn. For example, Mentimeter. We all already know what is Mentimeter, but for students who are just starting the studies, they are not sure about how to entertain or how to interact in their presentations. So I'm giving them the information about one or another tool, and I'm giving them the task that you have to check this tool, you have to prepare something, and this is my present to you, the knowledge, the new tool, or maybe something practical what you can use later. And maybe you will not use it today or tomorrow, but you definitely will remember that you have the knowledge, or you know about this thing later. And this is the present what usually I'm trying to give. But also, as a good example of present is some thoughts, some quotes, I think is yeah, life learnings, what you can give to your students. And finish your presentations or lectures with something they can keep for themselves. And sometimes you can hear or see that they at the one moment you think that your students are not listening to you. I have very often these thoughts, but then there are situations when they come to you and they're saying, remember, Zana, you told me do not afraid, or I don't know, step out of your comfort zone and do not be afraid of that and that. And I was like, oh, you were really listening to to my lectures. And they do, and maybe at the first moment you do not realize it, but there are many students which I can see that I have changed some things in their lives, and they benefit from what I'm telling to them. Then, of course, important is to, before every presentation, understand, to know your audience, to know you as a speaker, and think about the text or the information message what you are giving. About the audience, you know your students, you know that they are first grade or second and third, and maybe what they have studied before with your colleagues. So you should know the background of them, what they already know, and what they expect to see. Of course, we have not agendas, but study course descriptions, so they know that they have to finish that, and that. And this is important to be clear about these things. Like I explained that today we will talk more about poster presentation, but still in courses or in more specific presentations or lectures, they have to already know what you will talk, but for you important is to know what they already know. And this is problem, I don't know how it's in your countries. For example, in Latvia, we have students who are learning during the day. They are full-time students, and then we have students who learn at the evenings or on the weekends. And those who learn on the evenings or on the weekends, for sure they are working during the day. And every time when I go to bachelors who are studying during the day, I know they all are just from the school. They just finished, so I have to give them a lot information, because they are just starting and they don't have this real life experience almost at all. But every time when I go to the evening classes with the bachelors who study part-time or on weekends, it's totally different. Because in these situations, we have maybe one or two students who are not working, but I don't know why decided that they want to study during the evenings, but most of them are people who are already working. Maybe they have I don't know, some of them have they changed the work, or they started as a full-time student and then they switched the studies to the evening classes. Some of them just, I don't know, after the shorter or longer break, they deciding that they want to study again, so they are working, they have families, and they want to study at the evenings or weekends. And in these situations, I never know what I'm going to see in front of my or screen or audience. And then it's important that in first lectures you have these discussions about what they already know and what they maybe want to know. Then when we talk about the speaker, what do you want that audience remember about you? And definitely, I do not want that my audience remembers how I fell from the stairs or maybe in front of the audience. This is definitely what I don't want them to see. But what I want to see them to see is that I'm their friend. And since I'm working with usually I'm working with students from the first course at the first semester, so they're just here from the school. It's important that they have this friend in university. And my topic about the public presentation is like, it's not like mathematics or statistics. This is something what we are developing during our whole life. And I don't know why they're coming always very shy. They're afraid to talk. They're afraid to present, and they're asking me, not asking, but they are looking for possibilities not to do their work, not to present, and not to complete their courses. So my task is a little bit to give them this confidence. And to give the confidence, of course, I have to be a little bit also their friend. And this is what I want them to remember, that I am your friend and I am friendly, and you always can come to me and ask me for, I don't know, presentation template, or maybe some advice how to present or how to prepare your presentation. And yeah, and another thing is how you as an expert will show to your students your credibility, how you will demonstrate that you are authority or of the subject, not authority, but an expert, maybe it's the best way to say. This is what we are doing at the beginning when we are explaining about the course, about our experience. And actually, I didn't much introduce myself because I did it in the videos which are on the platform. But if I should tell about myself, why I am an expert in this topic, maybe because I have been working with corporate clients for many years. I'm designing their presentations. I'm helping them to prepare for important presentations, for pitch presentations. I'm working in business incubator. I'm head of business incubator. I'm preparing my students for pitches so that they can pitch and get some funds for their business ideas. And my experience in business presentation, so not in business, my experience in modern, I rather call it modern presentation. In modern presentation is for more than 5 or 6 years. And I hope that this helps to show my credibility. Yes, and another thing, as I mentioned, I want to be a friend with my one thing is that I want that my students are also my friends. Another thing is also to have something common with my audience, with my students. And with you, the one thing with what is common for us is that we are all teachers. We are teachers, or we are going to be soon enough teachers. So this is one thing what we have common. But with students, it's usually a little bit different. And here you should find something else. In my case, I guess the one common thing is that also I'm human who was afraid a few years ago to present or be in front of audience. And these fears or these thoughts or this lack of confidence, what I had, is what is common for us. And I guess you also have the same situations in your countries, but I was growing up in the region which is a little bit far from our capital city, Riga. And in the city where I grew up, we had different dialect. And when I moved to Riga, and when I started my path in university, my course mates, they were not mean, but they were a little bit making fun of my accent, of my dialect. I was working so bad to change it. You cannot imagine how many public speaking or other lessons and classes I took to have this confidence that now I sound like you. Now you cannot tell anything bad about my accent or dialect. I'm still working on my English accent and dialect, but that's another story. The first important presentation what I was giving in university, I had to present my business idea. And since I started my university already with the company, it was easy for me because this was my passion. This was something what I was really loving. But the main word of my business idea, I was producing board games. And the word games was the one word what I couldn't tell proper in Latvian. This was the funniest word in what I was ever telling. And always my course mates were laughing about me. Since my course mates were not mean, they were preparing me for this final presentation, and they were teaching me how to say this word in proper way. I was learning for several days. And when I had to go in front of audience, in front of my teachers and present my business idea, I went, I stand there, I was confident because I'm the only one with the business idea in university. I'm the only one who has done it. And then I started to see my course mates. They were smiling, but they were like, when they're cheering up, Zana, you can do it. Zana, you can tell them this name, this word right. And when I had to say board games, I was laughing so bad. And for the whole presentation, I couldn't in proper say board games. Thanks God, the teacher, she's actually my friend, and she's still my friend. We are working together. She knew that I'm good at what I'm doing, but she doesn't understand. She didn't understand why everyone and me are laughing. Since then, I guess I know how to say in proper way board games in Latvian, but this is one thing. When we also about the confidence, you wrote that the presentation, something about the confidence and what you have to learn. I was working so hard to get or to gain this confidence, and again, the key to success is preparation. And it doesn't matter, are you preparing in front of your mirror at home, or you are recording your voice? Because the funniest part with the recording your voice, now in many universities, there are distance learning programs. Also, we do have distance learning programs. And when I had to record my first video, oh Jesus, I was so shy. I didn't like how I sound in the video or in the recording. But then I also started to learn and to do this talking part in front of Zoom or in front of a camera. And now I'm kind of enjoying my voice. But it was very, very long way to have this confidence. And the people who are listening to you, they actually usually see and feels that you are or you are not confident. Because students which I was working at the beginning, and I have to work with them now in the master programs, they say that, like, I'm as a teacher, I am very changed. And this is what we can see in ourselves. And as I mentioned about the intro or about me part, in the video, I have mentioned that also not only the information what you put on the slides should be very concentrated, short, without a lot of information on it, but also the introduction part about yourself. And I have seen many presentations when everyone tries to like really show the CV of a resume of yours. But since here I'm talking with you about modern presentation, I guess you don't care that I do research in electrical vehicles. You don't care that I have worked before in bank, or I don't know, I have done how many projects I have done. The most important right now is that I am working with students in a business incubator or in a program where with the students in lectures, I'm teaching modern presentation, business communication, and business models. And this is what is the most important right now. What I have done maybe in other topics or fields is not that important as that why I'm here and what you can benefit from me. And of course, the message and how we put the message together, and how we, in our case, also visualize it, and how we create everything is a very important part. So where to start? Since I'm a mom of 2 boys, a Lego for me is like everyday life, but this is not the reason why I'm showing you Lego. Making presentation and preparing for any speech for me is like organizing Lego. I know that there are persons or people who just like to throw everything on the table and then looking piece by piece. But we know that we can faster finish or Lego building car or ship if we structure the elements of the Lego like by colors or by forms or shapes. It always is better. And the same as with the information, what we have and what we want to tell or to deliver to our students. For example, we can like be chaotic and take also piece by piece from one or to another topic, but it's always more it always works better if we have, for example, we know that we are talking about I don't know, for example, my topic, modern presentation, then I know that I should start with basics, with presentation skills, then I go to basic presentation, then I have presentation, pitch presentation, then I have poster presentation, and then I'm giving digital tools. I will check the chat. Yes. Thank you for being here. And when I structure everything and putting everything on the table, or sometimes if there are books involved in what I'm doing, then of course I'm putting books and materials which are printed. If I have everything online, that I'm putting everything on the desktop, and then I start to sort. This is going to this part, this is going to that part, and this is how we finish or deal with the mess. Another thing, what we have to think is about what is the purpose of the presentation, and not always the purpose will be the same, or we will have to choose from that or purposes inform, persuade, entertain, or inspire. And to be clear, in the presentations, you should choose not more than 2 things from the list, because you cannot do everything. And if you will try to do everything, it will be crazy. It's good that we try to mix maybe inform and inspire, which is probably today my task. And I would say that maybe also a little bit to entertain, but the organizers probably are expecting that I will inform you about new tools, about where to find the presentation templates and etc. And my, as a teacher, this mission in life is to inspire, get out of the comfort zone, to inspire, do things different, to inspire, try new things. And at the end, to inspire to be better for your students and for what you are doing in your career. Then where to start? First of all, we should try to be and keep everything as simple as we can. If you will listen the lectures and the video recordings, you will see that I'm mentioning being simple, like in every second slide or moment of my presentation. I know that there is plenty of information what you want to give to your students, but in this case, it's sometimes better to prepare handouts or prepare additional information where they can get this more what you want to say, but never try to put everything what you know or what you want them to know in one slide. Not only in one slide, it's all about the whole presentation. The one thing which is happening now is that everything is happening slower on the internet. And breakout rooms, they are great, but if we remember how we were working in classrooms, how fast they did everything and were done, and how much more time they need right now when they are working online. So this is another thing what should we remember. we should involve the audience. And about the how to involve the audience, you will have another model. It's called Digital Tools for Communication. And their colleague of mine, Edwards, he will show you different tools, digital tools, what you can already take and use in your everyday work and life. I will not show you, and I will not talk about it. Sorry. Being time, this is the part of, I know that students hate it and also grown-ups hate it, but I'm still experiencing during my lectures in PhD studies, the teachers forget that there is time limit. And this is what my students are usually saying. If we are expecting that lecture ends at that time, please respect from different perspectives. Tell stories. As you see, I try to involve some stories of my life also in my presentation. Maybe they are not that good in English as it would be in Latvian. I think it's the same with you and your languages. But the thing about the stories and about the storytelling is the one thing which gives students emotions. I was learning storytelling with the best of the best teacher in Latvia. It was the greatest experience what I have experienced. And I promise, if you will, I don't know, check courses or maybe attend something similar, you will definitely love it. It's totally different from what we are doing here and now. And it would be very strange if I would came here without the presentation slides and just would talk for 2 hours without any visualizations. This is not what I'm saying, what we should do. But what I'm saying is that involving few stories will make your presentation more interesting. And stories works very good, not only in long presentations when you have to talk for several hours with your students, but presentations works also, storytelling works also very good when you have to present any topic in conference. Okay, maybe not in a scientific conference because there is specific format, but in some inspirational talks, it works very good. And to have this ability or this talent to tell stories, again, we have to practice. I'm still practicing, and maybe I can do my story shorter or maybe more specific, but well, we are all learning here. Also, I'm learning, and hopefully you will too. And use visualizations. About visualizations, why? Because it gives the structure for presentation. And since you know people are in these days, when you take, I don't know, any app or any tool, what you are using on your phones or maybe in computers, you see that they are made already user-friendly, that even kids who take the phone and start to play something, they can understand everything without the ability to read. And this is the same with presentation. When people are coming or talking, coming and to listen your presentation, it's always nice and good to have these visual elements, because this is the way how we just forget all the words in my mind. This is how to get the information and to absorb the information, which is not only given with the words, but also given with the symbols. Definitely, it also gives attention, or the attendees, they are making more watching more or seeing or paying attention to your presentation. It also symbols, and these days they are understandable, and it makes your presentation more understandable. In other cases, that promotes creativity to others. We are creating unique presentations, and we can become a visual storytellers. And I have learned a lot, not only about storytelling, but also not one, but three interesting courses. What I have done was about the visualization. I've done course about visualization in general, and then another thing what I was learning a few years ago was about visual facilitation. And visual facilitation is when you are drawing on the whiteboard or flip charts during your speech. And it's not just writing words which are not readable. It's about drawing charts, drawing some symbols, making all together, and making all the information more understandable. But when we talk about the presentation and how we can visualize our presentations, there are of course different ways how we can do it. And yes, the most important, there is no one good or right or like, no, I don't know, wrong way how to visualize your presentations. The most important for you is to find this, I don't know, either it's a one template you start to work, because you don't have to mix and you don't have to work with different templates. It's important that you at least start with one, because when I started to teach, I had this one template, which at that time I bought for 25 euros. It was special template, and I'm still using that template. Of course, now it's different. You can find a lot of things on internet, but what I will share today with you is also my special, as my students say, a secret folder with more than 100, I don't know how many are they, presentation templates, which you will be able to use in your purpose. But my suggestion is try to find the one and the right. It's like with the husbands and wives. Try to find one and the only which you will use for your presentations also in the future. And then it will be very easy, because it's the same like with the car. You can change cars every day, and every time it will be hard to start to understand what is it, how to start, how to drive. But when you drive with your special and one and only car for several years, you know every button, every detail in your car, and then it's easy, and it doesn't take any considerations what to do. So, and yes, and in these presentation templates, you actually can find already everything structured. You don't have to create your own new bicycle. Everything is already created. All you can or you have to do is just push on the buttons and start to fill with your text, with your information, and with your words and things what you want to say. Yes, and where you can find it and where you can start, there are three things what I'm offering or giving to you today. These will be my presents, but this is not the end of the lecture. We will still work together, but these will be my presents for you. So one thing what you will have is this one. I will just in a second copy to the chat also, will be this link where you can find templates which I have downloaded in last 2-3 years. You can copy them, you can copy all of them if you want, so you can just find the one or two what you are really like to use. Yes, another thing what I will show you just in a minute is Elements and Vato. This is the tool or website where I usually, which which I'm using to download the presentation templates. This is paid membership, but since you are not here that many, if you find something with what you want to use for your presentations, you can send me the link and I will send you back the PowerPoint presentations. And another thing is Canva. Does anyone have ever used Canva? Because this is very popular. Okay, I will start step by step. The first thing I will show you is my secret secret folder. So in my secret folder, I will copy the link in the chat so you can check. This is my Dropbox folder, and in this folder you can go to, I don't know, the presentation is probably the best where to start to check. In a presentation folder, you will find, as I told, more than 100 different presentation templates, and I'm updating this folder very, very often. If you see, for example, folder, there is probably inside the same presentation templates, but in several colors. For example, here we can see that it's green, green dark, or another color. You can, as I mentioned, you can download them and then you can use them for your purpose. How to use them? Just clicking on the text and filling the text what you want to use. The work with these presentation templates are maybe not that easy as to work with the original ones, which are built in the presentation in PowerPoint, but it's maybe a little bit more complicated, but I can show you how does it work. But at the end, the result is very nice. Here you can see only like few slides, what you can create with them, just putting the information, what you know, what you need to put, and then presenting. This is what you can find here. You just search and check what do you like, and you can take whatever you want. Then, as I mentioned, elements and baton. This is, hopefully you can see everything on the screen. You can see elements, yes? Yes, okay. So when you enter the web page, elements and baton, you go to presentation templates, and what you can find here, thousands of different presentation templates you can download and use for your lectures, for your purposes. I don't know, if you are a student, then you can present your homeworks. How you search here and how you look for information. So, for example, I'm using PowerPoint presentation, so I'm choosing only PowerPoint presentation. Then sometimes I need something specific, then I write, for example, I have to present my team, then I write on the search logo the team, and I can see that there is a different templates which are related to the subject team. You can do preview and you can see that what is inside of the presentation, some elements, some slides. And all slides will be easy to, not easy, but you will be able to change. For example, I really like this infographic presentation, and what I do, I'm download them. Hopefully I will be able because of the internet, but I just want to show you how does it work. In your case, if you want one or another presentation, you can send me the link of the presentation and I will download for you. So we see that my presentation is already downloaded. So I find on the downloads the main files, and I see the presentation. You see the presentation? Oh, okay, cool. What I can do, I can check what is inside. As you see here, it's only one picture, like one infographic with the few elements. How to work with this information? You just click and change. I will put my name, and I will put, I don't know, whether I connect. And every element is changeable. You can change it, changeable. If you, for example, don't need something, for example, here is YouTube, it's easy to delete. Just to make sure that you are deleting everything, and then you have this picture. Yes, you can add any other slides. You can copy this information and, for example, put to your slides, the original presentation. The one thing which you have to remember, for example, now I'm copying this picture, what I have made or done. When I'm pasting it to another presentation, it will change. It will change the colors, the size, and everything. The one thing what can help to you when you paste it, there is this. Okay, I will try to do. For example, here. Oh, sorry, I didn't copy. So here is the sign at the. It's sometimes in one way, in one or another part of the presentation. Here you can press the button and choose paste as a picture. And then this element will be as a picture. You will not be able to change it, but it will stay as it is. Now it was option just to change to the picture, but when I will copy it to another presentation, there would be also the option. We actually can try so that everything is clear. I will take my presentation, what I'm presenting to you today, this one, and we'll see how does it work. So this is the presentation, what I'm showing you today. I'm inserting new slide. I'm pasting it. So I can use destination theme, which means that it will be usable again, but it will be more similar to the template which I'm using already in my original presentation. I can keep source formatting. This is what I wanted to tell you. So when you choose keep source formatting, it will be the same as it was in the previous presentation or in the template which you used before, in the same colors, same size, and etc. And of course I can paste as a picture, but then I will not be able to change anything from the presentation. It will be picture. But sometimes I do use one or another way. It always works good. So this is how to work with the elements in Vato. When you have the presentation, then you are able to do as much as you want. Since I'm doing a lot of work on presentations and then visualizing presentations and working on different materials. Right now I have one project where I have to also create all the material. And for me, it's sometimes more like graphic design, because I'm doing from the beginning till the end almost everything, and even drawing. So here I downloaded another template which is a little bit different, but why I wanted to show you this template, when you're searching for the presentation templates, you will see that there are pictures inside, like in the presentation included. But unfortunately, when you will download the presentation, pictures and images are not this presentation. Thank you, Michael. It's happy to hear already that this is useful. The thing about the templates, the pictures are not included in the template, and of course at the first moment everything doesn't look as good as it looked in a preview. But here you can choose from your pictures, from your selections, everything what you need and include in these shapes. Also in Elements and Vato, what you can find there is professionally taken pictures from the stocks. This is also another thing what you can use, but yeah, and if you need these pictures, you of course can also send me and ask me for anything. And the third thing, which I'm the most excited actually, maybe you have any questions about PowerPoint Elements or my folder. So the last part is a little bit different. No, you are welcome to ask any moment, so I will answer. So yes.
Yeah, my questions goes back to the presentations you had before. Other things apart from this template, I'm well okay with the template, but something I want to know, it's like goes back to the presentation, like keeping the audience. Sometimes I see someone is presenting and the rest people are sleeping, people are wondering at what time will the presentation end. How can we help there so that the audience are able to be alert until they finish and they go back with their message? So, so that's the part. I want to be refreshed on.
Then you should wait till the fourth course of ours about communication tools, because there my colleague, he will present some tips and tricks how to use different tools in your lectures. For example, Mentimeter. Mentimeter we are using to ask questions or have some polls or yeah, some interactions during the presentation. Then also what we are doing just to wake up our students are breakout rooms. This is, I think, something what we already everyone is doing, are doing. And then another thing, what we just started to do, and it works perfectly with our students, we are doing quizzes in the platform called Kahoot. And it works so good. Yesterday we had a lecture with colleague of ours from Finland. She was presenting also escape room platforms where you can also make escape rooms and solutions also to interact or entertain students, because of course gamification is not only about entertaining, it's also about learning stuff and things in a different way, but sometimes it's also about entertaining. So you can check maybe the one what was presented yesterday. It was in Russian language, and since I'm also not able to read in Russian, I don't remember the name of the tool, but there are different other tools where you can entertain in such a way. Yes, shortly about that, you should wait till the fourth course, which will be in, I guess, in 3 weeks. Hopefully I answered at least a little bit. But the last thing what I wanted to show you is Canva. Canva is something I absolutely love because here you can do basically everything. If you need presentation, you can make presentation here, different interesting templates just by looking by keywords. Then if you need something for social media, for example, posts or I don't know, yeah, basically posts for Instagram, for Facebook, for other tools, you can create everything here. If you need videos, the same. For example, we can check my designs. Yeah, I have done here several different things, and one of the, like, you see even invitations to my kids' birthday parties, and they are quite interesting. But if we talk about the work, which would be more suitable in this case, I cannot find my last infographic about business incubator. I should check where it is. Oh, it's here. So since I'm working in business incubator, I'm head of business incubator. This is one of the creations of mine. I did make infographic about what we are doing, what we have achieved in the last 8 years. For example, here is how many members we have, how many business ideas in the last 8 years we have had, what we are doing, what kind of consultations and services, and the basic information, the address and our logo. How I started? I started with this template. I've done like this wasn't like one day job. I spent like 2 days. But the funniest part about this, I did it on canvas, and then our designer who was creating the material about the whole university, she took this infographic and she did in the same way everything. So I was as good as our designer. But what I changed, of course, was colors, because in my case was important that we stick with the Reseba colors, which is dark red and blue, and business incubator is in on the red. I changed some symbols, because here you can see, of course, I can use maybe these 4, but I thought it would be more interesting to have also another symbols. I really like the result of it. It took a little bit time because I had to move. I will show on this one. I have to move every section. I have to redo many things, but it for such a purposes, when you have to make like infographic or something, it's important that it is in good quality. And what I also have done here is logos. For example, here I have, I'm working in one project, research project, and for that project we needed also logo, and I did the logo in also several ways, with letters, without, in that way, in languages too. So I did in different ways, so we have options how to use it. And since this service is also paid service, you can use it for free, but then you are like restricted in several options. For example, you cannot download, in this case, the logo with PNG, I don't know how it's right in English, format, which is without the white background on the other side. Then, of course, some elements are what you have to pay for, and this tool costs something like 12 euros per month. I do not have this membership right now. I'm using this membership and renewing it only in these purposes when I have to make something important. So right now I don't have it, but every time when I have to redo something or do something new, then I again have the membership. I will show you what you else can find here, as I mentioned, and which was important for me today, to show that it is possible to make presentations here and how it works here on the Canva. You just find one template which is interesting for you, for example, this one, and then you can, you see, you see here on the left side different slides which you can easily add, and again here you are just changing the information, adding new slides and new information. yes, and just doing yeah, as a new page, and just doing what is important for yourself. You can copy or replace the symbols. For example, I am copying this. It's knife. Okay. I'm copying this symbol, so you can copy from other slides. But if in case you have something specific what you need, you can go to elements, and in elements you can check maybe something specific or what you need, and you can just place and put on your presentation. You can also change the color. Wow, this doesn't work, so I will do yellow, and you will see that some elements, if you don't have the membership, are for free. Some elements are you have to pay for. So if you are using for free, then of course you should change and find something which is for free. But in some cases, you just yes, you can buy the membership or change it. The one thing in some presentations, when you will check them, or in some other elements, you will see that this is the one you have to pay for. But sometimes the thing is that not all presentation is the thing what you have to pay for. Sometimes this one element is what is charged, and when you're deleting it, the presentation automatically is free. So check the maybe some small elements in the presentation. Do you have any questions about Canva? The most important is just to start to use it, and after a few times you will see and you will absolutely love it, because there are so many templates and options and things what you can do. You will be very amazed of it. Okay, we have something like 25 minutes more to talk. Are you ready for posters? To talk about poster presentation. I will not be long. I will be very short, and then I will also explain for the next lecture what you have to do. So, what is a poster presentation? It presents structured results and information to people at the conference or some public display. As I told, in these days, not only oral presentations are allowed in conferences. You can choose also from other ways how to present. But also you can highlight conclusions, relevance, and information of your work. And this works very good in different meetings where you have to give the conclusion of the, I don't know, project or work you have done. And to put everything on the presentation is sometimes hard. Not to put everything on the presentation, but maybe the important point was to mention that to print everything out is useless. For example, we have presentation of, I don't know, 70 slides, and then we have to print everything out. What we are trying to do with our colleagues, we try to invent and encourage our colleagues. I know that it's extra work, but it works better in some ways, is to prepare these handouts. 1 page or 2 pages. Sometimes it's with the same information which is included already in presentation, but it's in 1 page, and it doesn't take so much paper and place. And yes, and what we can do, we discuss or work or get any feedback from what we have done. Why are we doing it? Is first of all to inform, engage, and attract interest in what we have done in our work. To advertise sometimes department, university, research group, and also ourselves, and make contacts for collaborations and jobs. Then again, about factors to consider before doing it and why we are doing it is to it's specific for conferences, and you should make sure if you are, for example, going to conference, that what is the size, shape, and what other restrictions are required for the conference where you are participating. Yes, and when you are preparing the poster, you should be sure that the person who will read it will see everything. For example, if it is conference and you have to print A1 poster, that make sure that it's readable, that even from several meters, the person will understand what is written on the poster. I have at home several banners with the information, and I was at the first time, of course, I was a little bit struggling to understand is it will work or or not. But from every conference you get the new experience. Yes, and the poster needs to be easy to follow without the need for exclusive explanation. So the same as with I don't know, with online platforms or apps, what we're using in our phones, this new term user friendly. The same was with the presentation, with the poster presentation. It should be readable. Like you should understand that first of all you should read this column and then you go to another. The same as with the flyers or advertisements or other things what we can read and see. It should be logical and consistent layout, so that it's not only the logically readable, but and also easy, and everyone at the end understands what you have meant with that information. You will see in my videos about the colors, and colors is one of the most important factors that and the reasons what you should consider when you think about the presentation, the poster presentation, because if first of all, I'm not a fan of dark colors, but not because I'm conservative. I like dark backgrounds and dark color in the wardrobe or other things, but it's very, very hard to work with colorful and dark backgrounds. It's always will be easier to work with white or very light background. So when you are choosing your presentation templates, or when you are choosing your tool to work, especially when you are beginner in creating designs, you should check the background, because with the white background, even if you will find, I don't know, some elements or graphics or something on the internet with the white background, it will still fit and work good for this one presentation. If the background will be black or if the background will be colorful, at the end you will see the black slide and something white. You see that it's hard to place it on the presentation. And to attract the audience, you should think about space. So not just about the space as a picture, but also space where you will present it. And this should be required and also mentioned on the papers or on the restrictions when you are preparing for such things. What kind of text you will put on and graphics, because only text will not work. Here you should put some extra text. I will just in a second show you one poster presentation what I have done, and why I'm showing it or talking about this today is because your task till the next lecture, which will be next Friday, will be prepare poster presentation. poster presentation about one of the business communication topics. I will just show you in a few seconds. I'm having troubles to find the example what I wanted to show you, but if I will not find it today, I will send you all to the emails. To the email, since it's important you to see how the poster looks at the end. Yes, it looks like I will. Oh no, I will show you. So the example what I'm showing you today is about poster presentation. What I did for one research paper, what I was preparing. It's my article was about effective self-managed work teams and how to integrate them in the company. I had research paper on like something like 10 pages. But this is the end what I was presenting on the A1 format paper poster in the conference. And as you see, of course, you cannot see everything when I put it closer, you can see that there is quotes, elements, some things which differs from everything, so you can understand that there are something important what to say. There are also already given structure from the organizers, so I knew that I have to put on the poster purpose, methodology, terminology, findings, future research, and conclusions and keywords. So I did also the structuring. Hopefully you understand that you have to start to read from one part and then you go as in a book to another one. And this is the example what I have done, and in such a way I also have other topics covered and presented. And this is what I will expect from you to the next lecture. It's summary or conclusion of the topic you will cover and you will present. And just in a second, I will open the program of what you also have received, just to show what you will be able, what you have to do till the next lecture. Next lecture for this course, business communication, will be on next Friday. So don't worry, you don't have to come tomorrow on Friday, you will have to come next Friday. Why in such a way? Because I want you to have a time to prepare. I know that you are all busy. I'm busy and you are busy, and it takes time to find the ways and find this new experience, like gain the experience, gain the skills, how to do it. So here are some in the program what you have already received. You can find also other additional tools, Canva, what I have mentioned, Infogram or Vengage, which are for infographic tools, tool to make an infographic. What you have to do till the next Friday, and here we have a date like November 19th. You should prepare poster presentation. Poster presentation can be about any business communication topic you would like to talk. It can be about basic communication. It can be about verbal communication, or maybe specific about nonverbal communication or gestures. Some people like to choose something very specific as face mimics. I guess it's right in English. So maybe you want to do research more about the face mimics. Then maybe you have some some interest in these digital tools. Okay, we will talk about digital tools in few weeks. Maybe you already have something to present to us and put on this one-page presentation. If you want to talk about personal branding or communication on social media or personal branding on social media, you can also choose one of these topics, or public presentation or leadership, what you have discussed yesterday. It's kind of free what you will choose, and I'm not going to restrict you. I know that you all are experts in one or another topics, and maybe you really want to choose something very, very specific. If you are not sure, is it going to be okay to talk and to prepare presentation about that topic, you can also ask me. You can write me an email to my, you have received from me emails. You can just easily ask me, is this topic okay to talk about next week? So I will give you a feedback. Do you have any questions or maybe comments or something to mention in this topic about the presentation? Maybe something specific about the I saw that Natalia wrote that I'm sorry, we can't download by yourselves.
Yes, I understood that we should pay per month something to register. Yes.
If
Or
you
not?
are downloading, if you want to download something from Elements and Vato, then yeah, it's paid membership. But you can send me the link.
Okay.
Of presentation or presentations, what you want to use for your work or other purposes. You can send me email. I will send you back. You don't have to buy today.
Okay.
In future, if you, for example, collaborate or ask your university and you can show them the tool. For example, in our university, we have this tool. And university is paying, and all the teachers can use it. So maybe it's the way how you can do it also. But for now, you can send me what you like, what you want. But also you can check the folder, but in which you can find already many templates, or try Canvas.
Sorry,
Angelica,
they are my kids.
it's okay. I have a hotel guests all the time. Yes, and yes, Angelica, I will write to all of you the email with the home task homework, and also I will include a small, not long, really small test for you, since it was about business communication.
Okay, we'll try to solve it.
Yes, it will be very, very short.
Very simple, I suppose.
Yeah, I will turn off for my. Oh, okay. Yes, and I will send you everything on the email. It will probably be tomorrow during the day. And if you will still have any questions, you will be able to ask me. Yes, you are raising hand.
Yes, first of all, thank you for interesting meeting and interesting information. I have one question about the homework. How many slides we need to create, or it's not important?
It's one.
You miss postcards, yes?
Yes.
Postcards, not templates.
No, it's poster.
Poster.
Yeah. It's poster presentation, which is one page presentation.
One page, everything.
Yeah. Let's imagine that it's like a handout for the audience, so it's an A4 format. Like it's easy to print it out later. So it's one page. I can show you I can show you one thing.
Okay, thank you.
For example, if you want to use presentation template in Canvas, if you will write poster, you will find different posters and the poster templates. But for example, if you want to make something on PowerPoint, you can do it in such a way. I'm using MacBook, so it maybe it looks a little bit different, but probably on your computers it should be something something similar. If you want to switch the layout, I guess, yeah, it was, yeah, to the horizontal, you should go to design, then you go to format background. No, here it was slide size. So you go to slide size and you push page setup. And here you can do it backwards. And then it will ask you, do you want to scale up or scale down? You can try both ways, but for example, I did scale up and it doesn't look that good anymore. So we go back. We go back. Yes. We are going back. We are scaling up again. We are changing and scaling down, and now it looks better. But not everything, but most of it works good. But the thing what you can always do here, you can copy everything from one slide to another. So, and just to be as a creative web designer or graphic designer, it's very artistic job.
It's a creative process. Yes,
it is. And in another way, it will be always creative part. And even if you will choose something from Canvas, which already are very nice done, still you have to switch or change something, or maybe add or maybe delete something. And it will be always creative process. But in this case, this is what the most loving of this process, and hopefully you will also love and enjoy this process.
So we can choose from the Canvas or
yes,
PowerPoint presentation to prepare
yes,
the poster presentation.
Yes. Yeah. The most important that it's one page and it's poster. How you will do it, it doesn't matter. And yes, while I have one few 5 minutes more, I wanted to mention, you saw at the beginning that my presentation started to go without my permission. In every presentation template, there are built in some animations or something.
Yes,
Sometimes I forget to take them off. What happened today? But not just because the presentation starts to run and doesn't listen what I'm saying to it. I suggest always not to use animations. And try before going to present or sending your presentation, export it to PDF format. Because if you are creating presentation in your computer and with that PowerPoint, you are going, for example, to university and putting that presentation in your school computer, your school computer, yeah, it's ruined. It looks awful because your home computer, or not, the right will be your work computer doesn't have the same fonts and elements in that computer. But if you will go with PDF, everything always will be fine and right. And the same you do, please, also with the with Canvas. It will be in that way, but in PDF. But if you do make presentation or poster on PowerPoint, then try to export to PDF. So that when I will receive it, that everything is in the right place. Any other questions?
I suppose there will be when we'll start to work.
But you do not hesitate to ask me, because sometimes it's I don't know, some issues with the canvas and or maybe with the presentation PowerPoint. Do not hesitate to ask me or Google. Actually, in Google you can find in these days
Yeah,
everything.
it's a smart.
Yeah, Google is smart enough. So yeah, ask me and I will be happy to answer all questions and help you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all for being here. I really hope that you all will benefit from what I told you today.
We have.
And yeah, and your students will be happy to see nice looking presentations.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank you.
And
Good evening.
see you
Thank you.
next week on Friday.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And those who want to participate social media course, then see you also in social media course.
Okay, thank you. Bye bye.
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 Bye. Thank you.